Before we get started, thank you all for helping me touch 1,500 subscribers. We are halfway to 2,000. We have now entered the start of the new golden era of endurance racing. 2023 is going to be epic for race fans who watch IMSA and WEC. Today, I thought it would be fun to go over 2023 IMSA track calendar, where LMDh hypercars will race in the GTP class beside LMP2, LMP3, GTD Pro, and GTD. This year, the IMSA schedule for this season has 11 rounds at 11 different tracks in North America, including one new returning track. What we know, despite the new era class of racing, the 2023 season track list will mostly be the same as the prior years. However, there are slight changes. Let's jump right into it. The first race on the IMSA calendar will take place at the notorious Rolex 24 of Daytona in the state of Florida. For starters, Daytona is home to motor racing NASCAR aka Daytona 500 and also the greatest 24-hour endurance race in North America. The race duration will be 24 hours long and field 5 different classes: GTP, LMP2, LMP3, GTD Pro, and GTD. The war before the Rolex 24 will take place on January 20th through the 22nd, where racers do miles of practice for 3 days before the actual 24-hour race. The race date will be on January 28th through the 29th and will be the 61st running of the Rolex 24 Daytona event and the Michelin Endurance Cup. The Daytona road course is 3.5 miles long and has 12 turns. The 2 horseshoe turns, bus stop chicane, and high-speed oval straights and turns. It's the fastest track in IMSA, where it'll be fun to sight the new GTP hypercars race for the first time. The second race will take place at Mobil 1 12 Hours of Sebring on March 18, 2023. This year will be the 71st running of the event in the Endurance Cup and will feature all 5 classes. This track, Sebring, is also located in Florida in the central part of the state. The Sebring International Raceway is one of the oldest unique tracks in the US, built on top of what was originally a US Army Air Force base during World War II. The track is flat and in the middle of nowhere, 3.7 miles long with 17 turns to challenge the most hardcore racers. Sebring is tough, rough, and a bumpy track paved with concrete slabs at the front straight going into turn 1 and turn 16 through 17 at the final sector. It is the first birthplace of American endurance racing since 1952 and a great track, the second largest race in the IMSA series. We shift from the east to the west coast with palm trees and constant dry sunshine. The third round will be held on the city streets of downtown Long Beach, California, known as Grand Prix of Long Beach. The race is 1 hour and 40 minutes long and only 3 car classes will attend, GTP and 2 GTD classes. It is the only city track in the IMSA calendar nearly 2 miles long, featuring 11 turns, including a couple of 90-degree angle turns, a tricky final hairpin, a water fountain, and tight sections. The Long Beach track can be tough for racers to overtake at certain areas on the track, and that justifies why it's a good challenging track to race on. The race will be held on April 15, 2023 and the spring season. For the fourth round, they head to one of the most common tracks seen in a lot of racing games, Laguna Seca Raceway. The event is held on May 14, 2023 and will be 2 hours and 40 minutes long. 4 race classes will attend from GTP, LMP2, GTD Pro, and GTD. Laguna Seca is located in the desert hills of Monterey Bay, California, just 120 miles south of San Francisco. It is 2.2 miles long with elevation changes, 11 turns with a downhill sloping corkscrew at turn 8, and curved apex sausages. The track lies now on what was once a dry lake bed and has 2 ponds surrounded by turn 2 through 5. It's one of the toughest tracks to get right for racers, especially at the corkscrew, but ranks as one of the most unique. For race number 5, we head to the northeast at Watkins Glen track for Silence's 6 Hours of the Glen, the third major race and the Endurance Cup in IMSA, which means all 5 classes will attend the race on June 25, 2023. The track is located in upstate New York and is 3.4 miles long with 11 turns, featuring low to high speed turns and straights with a tricky boot chicane. Watkins Glen is long known around the world as the home of racing for nearly every class, such as sports car racing, Can-Am, Trans Am, IndyCar, NASCAR, etc. Fun fact, the facility there is currently owned by NASCAR. All in all, Watkins Glen is an awesome track for many motorsports. For round 6, the next track takes place at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, known as Motorsport Park, located in Ontario, Canada, 58 miles east of downtown Toronto. It is sponsored by Chevy Grand Prix and contains 4 race classes. The event will be held on July 9, 2023. The track is 2.4 miles long with 10 turns, elevation changes, slow to fast corners, and straightaways. I know a little bit about this track where IMSA and NASCAR race here, but it feels like a good track to race in the virtual versus the real world. Round 7 will take place at Lime Rock Park, located in Connecticut, USA on July 22, 2023. This will be a GT-only event of GTD Pro and GTD class racing. This is due to the track's short length being 1.5 miles long, and it's the shortest track in the IMSA series. The race will be 2 hours and 40 minutes long. Lime Rock has 7 turns with easy left and right-handers and a couple of short straights to defend forward positions. It has a slow uphill chicane and a downhill corner to carry a lot of speed into the next lap. The track is surrounded by forests and a bit short and tight, which means tighter race battles and more entertainment for race fans. Round 8 will take place at Road America on August 6, 2023. The race will be 2 hours and 40 minutes long with 5 race classes once again. The track is located near Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin in the Midwest United States. It is 4 miles long with several elevations, high-speed corners, and long straights where speeds rising 190 miles per hour may be reached. One of the best-known features of the track is the turn on the backside known as the kink. Road America has hosted races since the 50s and now hosts NASCAR, IMSA Sports Car Championship, IndyCar Series, etc. One of the only handful of circuits in the world maintaining its original layout. Round 9 will be at Virginia International Raceway, or VIR for short. The event is held on August 27, 2023. It is on the East Coast in Elton, Virginia borderline of North Carolina. This is another GT-only sprint race. This track has 18 turns and is 3.2 miles long. Features a total of 6 layouts, but specifically talking about the 4 layout, with lots of bends and snake turns, roller coaster turns at the end of the back straight, and plenty of runoff areas and the grasses to avoid incidents or any errors occurring to any racers. VIR is also a tough track to master its flaws and go fast. Round 10 will make a return to the all-time classic Indianapolis Motor Speedway on September 17, 2023. All 5 classes will race there. This is a new track that's returning to IMSA for the first time since 2014, which was 9 years ago. It's exciting to see another speedway track on the schedule as much as we love Daytona. The Indy track is located outside the city of Indianapolis, Indiana, also known as the Brickyard, and the oldest super speedway in the United States, built in 1909, now over a century old and still going strong. It is world famous for the classic Indy 500 and hosts other series like NASCAR. IMSA will battle on the bricks on the GP layout that's 2.4 miles long, with 14 total turns, a few sharp turns, quick corners, a large chicane, and fast exits onto straightaways to attain huge speeds. Finally, the final round of the 2023 season will take place at Road Atlanta for 10 hours of the Petite Le Mans event. It is the final major race of the Endurance Cup, meaning all 5 classes will race there. This year marks the 26th running of the Petite Le Mans race. The finale showdown will decide who will be the GTP champion, etc. at the end of the IMSA season. The race date is set for October 14th, 2023 in the fall season. Road Atlanta is located in the state of Georgia in the southeast, known for sports car endurance racing using the rules set for the 24 hours of Le Mans. It is a really fast track that's 2.5 miles long with 12 turns. One of the best known places on the track is the sloping downhill turn 11 through 12 to the start finish line and the downhill S's turn 2 through 5. Road Atlanta is a great track to race on for many racing series, while the Petite Le Mans event stands as the most popular. This is only the beginning of a wild show. So, the 2023 IMSA season will have 11 total rounds with 1 new returning track, and they won't race at Mid-Ohio or Detroit Valley, Iowa this year. Now, before we wrap up this video, I just want to finish with the conclusion. The track schedule, the new cars, the new teams, entry list expansion for the races are incredible this year. 2 tracks might have disappeared to make room for a new track to join the calendar, which could be disappointing to some fans, but at least we got the Indy track coming back. But there is one track that not only does WEC not race there anymore, but IMSA hasn't raced there in years since 2017, the Circuit of the Americas. Anybody remember this track? It would be nice to see more tracks return to IMSA like this one. Now, this track is highly technical, and some people love or despise this track for how it is designed. Unfortunately, I think the reason why IMSA doesn't race at COTA anymore is because of the lack of spectators showing up and the very high expenses to run and watch a race there. Some say it is a terrible and boring track for racing, and not many race fans go to COTA anymore, according to my research. It is still a fantastic track for Formula 1 and IndyCar series, but even they stopped racing at COTA. So it's very unlikely that COTA will make a return in the future in the IMSA series, but there is still room for new to IMSA tracks to come. Could it be Charlotte Speedway, Utah Motorsports Park, or some other city-based track like Washington, D.C.? I want to hear your opinions on what you guys think. I hope you all sit back and relax and enjoy this epic video. If you did, do not forget to hit the like and hit the subscribe button, and you are more than happy to give me any suggestions in the comments down below. I do read them and put them on my list. You guys have helped me a lot, and it means so much. I hope you guys have a great 2023 and wish you the best. Keep an eye out for more motorsports videos to come. I'll catch you in a coming video. Peace out, stay safe, Christheradar out.